You're listening to The State of Work, the podcast by Lano. The State of Work is about finding your place in the changing world of work as an individual or an organisation. In each episode, we dive into some of the benefits and limitations we face when it comes to remote and flexible work. We discuss how we work, how we hire and manage people, and how we live in this increasingly global workplace. I'm your host, Maddie Duke, and in this episode I'm joined by Sarel Tal, VP EMEA for Rapyd, the world's largest local payments network. Sarel leads Rapyd's growth strategy and operations across Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, and he shared some insights about the current state of global payroll trends, the technology behind Rapyd's APIs, and how Rapyd is working with the global developer community to come up with new ideas for fintech and payment solutions. The continued increase in remote work and businesses expanding globally creates significant market development to the global payments industry as people look for payment solutions that juggle multiple jurisdictions and currencies. Founded in 2016, Rapyd is on a mission to power frictionless global commerce. Enabling businesses to enter new markets, they serve over 5,000 business clients, including eCommerce, tech companies, and marketplaces. I promise I only make one pun about Rapyd's rapid growth in this episode. Okay, that officially makes it two. Happy listening. Welcome, Sarel. Thanks so much for joining me today on The State of Work. It's great to be speaking with you.
Pleasure being with you here today, Maddie.
So where are you joining us from today?
Well, basically, I'm joining you from our Amsterdam office. Rapyd is a global company with multiple offices across the world. And at Rapyd, I run the EMEA business. Typically, our central office in Europe is the Amsterdam office. We do have some other locations in Europe, including London, Paris, and also Reykjavik in Iceland, where we've recently acquired a local card acquiring company, and we have a relative large facility there as well.
Great. It sounds like things are moving rapidly. Sorry.
Indeed.
In your position, you said you cover kind of the EMEA area. So you've got the Europe, the whole of Europe, Middle East, and Africa in that region. You know, you've got quite a distributed team there, a number of different time zones. I'm sure you've got like management teams and things that are all working in different countries and offices around the world. What's your experience of working with distributed teams? Is it something that you kind of just fell into and embraced through your career, or is that something that you've had to kind of adapt to with Rapyd?
No, I think all of my career was kind of international, working with international teams. I started out as an electrical engineer working for Motorola out of their Tel Aviv office, where my team was actually in Schaumburg in the US. So, really used to work with global teams. When I was the CEO of Voltaire, which was an Israeli startup, we had offices in the US.
Yeah.
So been involved in global operations throughout my career. Obviously, this last year was a completely different challenge when managing international teams. Prior to this, we used to travel every week and meet the people. And, for the last year and a half, we physically did not meet, most of the teams.
Do you usually have all teams come together for an event, once a year or so, or is that something Rapyd does? Rapyd
does. We do have an annual company event where all employees get together for like an offsite where everybody meets for a few days of fun and some business and get together and some training. We do have quarterly management meetings, physical meetings around the world. Obviously, we did not have one until a few weeks ago, so we did not meet even as a management. Physically meet for like a year and 4 months, I think.
It's surreal when that comes together in the end and you've finally got everyone in 3D right in front of you. It takes a moment to get used to, right?
Yeah, it takes more than a minute to get used to. There are also people that have joined the company and have never met the rest of the team. which is a big challenge,
Yeah.
or probably one of the biggest challenges of onboarding new employees, and especially new management during this last, 14 or 16 months.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that a lot of different businesses and leaders have been facing recently, isn't it? So before I really want to talk to you today about obviously Rapyd and how Rapyd is enabling global business growth and providing solutions. Could you give us a quick intro to Rapyd, what Rapyd is as a business and your role there?
Sure, happy to do so. Rapyd is a fintech-as-a-service provider, or probably a more modern name today, although Rapyd is just a 5-year-old company. But I think the common term today is embedded fintech, or we support embedded fintech. And Rapyd enables global businesses to collect, hold, and disperse funds across the world. So any financial service a global company would need, instead of going out and sourcing these services from multiple providers across multiple jurisdictions, multiple regulations, different integrations, and then running all of these contracts, all of these fund flow, reconciliation of the funds across multiple providers, Rapyd provides this under one agreement, one API on a global basis. So we can collect funds in all available payment methods across the world, or at least most available payment methods across the world. Anything ranging from cash to cards to vouchers, wallets, whatever have you. We can hold funds under our own regulations or our partners' regulations in different parts of the world, for businesses and for consumers. And we can disperse funds. We can pay out using all of the payment methods I've mentioned earlier across the world. So basically, we are in the funds flow. We touch the money, but you can access all of our services, or our customers can access all of our services via one API. So we're, on one hand, the technology platform, just like AWS, for the IT world, but because we provide these services in the fintech space, we're also regulated. We also touch the money, and we can collect, hold, and disperse on your behalf. We do not provide services to consumers. Our customers are business customers, and we are, I would say, a white label provider for them. So their customers, even regardless if they're business customers or consumer customers, will not actually see Rapyd in the front. They will interact with Rapyd on the backstage, but Rapyd is a white label provider to our business customers.
So Rapyd basically does all that legwork of everything that's involved in the back end of setting up a payment system in another country. And how many? And then integrates seamlessly with whatever the other business provider's product is.
Yep.
How many countries and currencies and things is Rapyd operating in at the moment?
We typically cover the whole world. I think we support something like 40 plus, maybe 50 active currencies in terms of collecting and dispersed currencies. That's the main currencies that most customers use. We can support more, and if there is a need, then we add more currencies. But typically we cover the whole world. In many places, this is direct capabilities, direct in countries capabilities. In some places, we work with local partners to access these markets. It depends on the size of the market, the business opportunity, the use cases, and so on.
Yep. And so just to kind of give an example of how one business might use Rapyd, I'll take Lano as an example. Being able to utilize and integrate with Rapyd's products allows Lano to grow their offering and offer new products and solutions to Lano's clients.
Lano is a perfect example, I think, of a customer, in a specific business vertical that is using Rapyd, and just looking at the things that Lano and people in that space are using Rapyd. They're using multiple of the Rapyd services across multiple jurisdictions, starting from the collection side, where and again, for people that don't know Lano is a payroll provider, and they enable employers to pay their global workforce. So from just a financial part of the Lano business in itself is very complex, and this is the core of the Lano offering. But in the places where they needed to interact with the real world financial systems, this is where Rapyd comes in. And instead of Rapyd now going and building that additional capability and services and know-how and regulation into their system, they consume that from Rapyd, as I've explained earlier. So typically in the Lano use case or a payroll provider use case, they need to collect funds from the employers in multiple jurisdictions, multiple currencies, and Rapyd has enabled them with a set of virtual accounts, virtual bank accounts, virtual IBANs, for example, in Europe, that they can issue for each one of these employers. So basically, the employer will have a designated bank account that they send the money to. On the Lano side, what this buys Lano is very easy reconciliation into the funds, because the normal way is for Lano to have a bank account and their customers send money into Lano. This lands into their bank account, and now they have to go through hundreds of payments and identify what payments belongs to what of their customers that have paid them. There are usually value differences because of cost, because of FX marks up or FX cost. So reconciliation becomes a big issue. The way that we set it up for them is that they have designated accounts for each one of the paying employers. So once the funds land in the account, they immediately know who these funds belong to. So there's actually real-time automatic reconciliation of the funds. That's on the receiving side. Now, if that employer has employees in 10 or 15 or 20 countries, Lano needs to build or would have to build these routes into these countries to be very cost effective, to make sure that the money comes in and is not blocked on the way because of different screening and different rules and different regulations, that it comes in the right currency, a proper FX rate, that their customers are paying the best rates that are available to move these funds across the multiple currencies, and that it's also very fast. Sometimes international bank transfers can take days and sometimes more than a few days to receive, and employees usually expect to get their payments on time immediately. So by using Rapyd and our ability to disperse all of these funds in the local currencies, into the local payment methods, we solve all of these issues of the cost of the transaction, the time of the transaction, and and making sure that the transaction gets there on time and is not blocked and gets lost on the way, like many international cross-border transactions end up.
Yeah, it makes it so much less complicated on the payroll side, that's for sure.
Right.
And so, you mentioned a few of the challenges that Rapyd solves for that kind of use case, as the payroll use case, the reconciliation, time costs. What are some other, aside from payroll, what are some other big use cases for Rapyd's product, and what challenges are they providing solutions for?
Just to stay maybe for another second on the payroll side, because the services can go further than this. If you look now on the employees, sometimes these employees work for, in the gig economy or remote workforce, they work for multiple employers. So they need to collect the funds from multiple employers. Sometimes, they don't even have a bank account in the country. So what Rapyd can do in that case is hold an e-wallet for these employees, where they can collect their funds from the employer or multiple employers into that wallet, and then Rapyd can issue a debit card on top of that wallet and enable these users to use the debit card to access the funds locally through an ATM or paying the supermarket or whatever they need to do.
That's a huge bonus for people that are working for many, many international clients all over the world.
Right. So this is on this specific vertical. Other verticals are the logistics, where you're a logistic company or even a logistic marketplace, and you connect shippers and buyers and sellers, and you want to build a marketplace where people need to load up funds and pay multiple providers, sometimes through an escrow facility, because you only want the payment to be actually paid when the ship has arrived, or the parcel has been delivered, or maybe inspected before it's delivered. So all of these services can be managed on top of the Rapyd marketplace platform, where a marketplace orchestrator can onboard the sellers, the buyers, the shippers, the logistic company, and move the funds, again, all through the API between these accounts, just as another example.
So have things changed pre-pandemic to now in terms of the number of companies that are looking for these kinds of solutions, or perhaps in the way that Rapyd is able to facilitate this product?
Yes, I think there's two main trends that we're seeing. One is obviously more business and more commerce and more transactions have moved to the online, and businesses that have never been online are now online. And these businesses, they probably have their own technology stack built around their core business, but now they needed to integrate into the global financial systems. Previously, they were maybe focusing on their own market, integrated into a local bank account, kind of acting very locally. And now a lot of these businesses found that there is great opportunity for them to act globally. So moving this, making this switch from acting locally to acting globally is something that Rapyd can accelerate for them very, very significantly. It's almost impossible for even a large merchant to build their global fintech infrastructure on their own. It just doesn't make sense. So this is one thing that changed. And the other thing is the world has kind of started to accept the use of APIs, the use of technology platforms. And on the fintech side, this is where embedded fintech comes in. So it's okay now for a business to focus on what they do and use APIs to connect to dedicated services. People connect to CRM services through an API, and to Zoom through an API, and to other services through an API. And the same way they connect to fintech services through an API and consume this. And it's okay for you to focus on your core business and consume these services at a very cost-effective manner on a global basis.
Yeah.
You can look at it from the other side, and that is, if you're a business and your financial infrastructure were focused, let's say, on North America, you could almost, it was very hard for you to expand into Europe on your own. But now, given the capabilities of a company like Rapyd, you can immediately expand into Europe. So Rapyd is an enabler for many of these businesses to expand their businesses globally. So it's not that we're only supporting global businesses, but we are also enabling local businesses to go global. Some of our large customers were very large, I would say, European customers, which identified opportunities outside of Europe. And without Rapyd, it would have taken them years to build their fintech layer, to penetrate into Latin America or to penetrate into Southeast Asia. Connecting into Rapyd, they immediately get access to all of the financial services across these regions.
Yeah. And I mean, just to quickly bring it back to the way Lano uses that, is that what that does is it enables Lano to access that huge network that then couples with Lano's product, which is, compliance and payroll services, where people can then hire remotely and pay remotely because of what Rapyd's able to help Lano offer.
Yeah, I think in the Lano case and in many other cases, we actually kind of break the chicken and the egg dilemma, because if you look at a payroll company and one of your clients has thousands of employees in Europe where you can pay them easily, but they also have 20 employees in Indonesia and 3 in Sri Lanka.
Yep.
Now, if you want to support them, you need to support, these 3 employees in Sri Lanka. And now you as Lano need to build that capability. But it doesn't make sense to build it for 3 employees in Sri Lanka. But if you don't do it, you don't get the large customer in Europe. Yep. So for customers like this, we're actually a significant enabler for them, not only to win the business outside of their core countries, but also to get the core business in their core countries, because otherwise that provider would look for somebody that can support Europe and Sri Lanka and Indonesia.
Pay your global team in local currencies. Lano has partnered with Rapyd to bring the world's largest local payments network to you. With Lano Wallet, local payments are free in over 50 supported currencies, and you can save up to 2% on exchange rates compared with traditional banks. Approve and pay invoices for your global team in just a few clicks. Head to lano.io for more information. I'd love to talk to you as well about your Rapyd's global developer community, and I understand you've got a hackathon on at the moment. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
When I was describing Rapyd earlier on, I think, or at least I should have used the term that Rapyd is an API platform. It's a technology platform. While Rapyd also provides fintech services, but the core competencies of Rapyd is the technology platform that enables people to integrate into Rapyd and through Rapyd into the local, capabilities. And one of the things as a technology company, it's important to us to be developer friendly, to build our services and APIs and sandbox environment to support the needs of the developers on a global basis. And we're spending a lot of energy on that. On the other hand, there is a lot of know-how out there with the developer community that they can use then the Rapyd capabilities and build solutions, services that they can then offer to their clients on top of Rapyd. So there's a win-win situation of Rapyd working with the global developer environment or community to get them knowledgeable on the Rapyd API capabilities, on the Rapyd infrastructure, what Rapyd can support them in places where they need to build fintech-related services. And this is where the hackathon comes in, enabling developers across the world to team up, integrate, and get familiar with the Rapyd capabilities, build their own solutions on top of that, and on the way win a small prize in the name
What's
of
the small prize?
a small prize is in Rapyd terms is a Porsche.
Nice.
Yes.
Lovely.
So we see a lot of excitement across the global developer community to join forces and win a Porsche.
What a great way to kind of reach that wider global community. And
yep, it is open to anyone around the world. We spend a lot of time and effort in building this. There is a specific team on Rapyd, which runs the developer community, and they're committed to this community, and they have built this on a global basis. So, it's a task force inside Rapyd that is focused on this mission. It's not something that we do, on the way or by the way. It's an ongoing commitment by Rapyd to the global developer community. This is just the starting point. It's nowhere the end point, and it's the beginning of a new relationship with the global developer community.
What we'll do as well is we'll link to the details of the hackathon on our podcast landing page. So if anyone listening wants to have a look and see what it's all about, they can also head there.
Super.
So it does sound like Rapyd is expanding quite quickly and, growing globally as an actual company. You've obviously seen a huge amount of growth in the last 5 years since the start and continuing to grow. Is Rapyd hiring at the moment? What does that look like for Rapyd?
Well, Rapyd, we've announced a very large Series D at the beginning of the year, so we're very well funded to move forward. We're targeting around 500 employees by the end of the year, which is a very aggressive task. A good part of that is R&D, but there's also many positions open for sales development, representatives, marketing, product marketing, relationship managers across the globe. We're recruiting in Europe, we're recruiting in APAC, in Singapore. We have a very large facility. We're recruiting in the US. We have a large office in Mountain View in California, another office in Florida. In Reykjavik in Iceland, we're recruiting developers, sales, product managers. So there's multiple open positions. And if anybody listening to this podcast is interested, they're invited to visit the Rapyd website, and there's a nice section about recruiting.
Great.
Looking forward to seeing great talent joining Rapyd.
I'm sure you will. Awesome. Well, I definitely encourage listeners to head to the Rapyd website and take a look at what positions are open. And what else is in store for Rapyd? What's kind of in the pipeline for the next year or so in terms of what's next?
I would say go expand our local capabilities. Today we're reaching most of the countries around the world, and we need to get more local in these countries, improve our capabilities in some of these remote countries. The local technology stack is not in line of what Rapyd as a company expects and our companies expect to see. So we need to invest in improving that local stack by either changing local providers or working with the local providers to improve their stack, or building our own routes into these markets.
Yeah,
I think this is one of the key areas. Local presence in additional markets with our own regulation. This is another area of improvement. We are currently card acquirers and card issuers in multiple jurisdictions across the world. Principal members for Visa and MasterCard, and we will like to expand that into other markets. So I would say these are kind of the routes that we will be focusing on in the next few years. In addition, of course, to growing the business and scaling up the business, the number of customers, the number of transactions we process for our customers on a global basis.
I mean, I know that Lano definitely shares Rapyd's vision on kind of enabling global expansion for businesses. And it's great to see such a comprehensive offer that Rapyd provides to businesses like Lano. And it's been really great to hear about it and lovely talking to you today. And I want to thank you again for joining us on The State of Work.
Thank you, Maddie, for hosting us. It's a pleasure meeting you and a pleasure doing this with you.
The State of Work is available wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter by searching for The State of Work. For more information on anything we talked about in this episode, including Rapyd's FinTech Grand Prix Hackathon and links to further reading on the future of payment processing, check out our show notes at podcast.lano.io. Thanks for listening, and see you next time on The State of Work.